Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Khabib Nurmagomedov is the UFC Lightweight Champion, and overall consensus is that he is the greatest fighter to ever step into the octagon. That kind of confidence in one fighter stems from his unbelievable 29-0 record, with wins over Conor McGregor, Dustin Porier, and Gaethje, just to name a few. Today, we are going to be talking about 10 little-known facts about Khabib. Make sure you stay until number 1 to see if his retirement is for real, or if we'll see the eagle in the cage one more time. Let's get started. Number 10. Khabib's childhood was unlike most others. Khabib Nurmagomedov was born and raised in extremely tough and harsh surroundings, both geographically and politically. He was born in the cold and rough mountains of Dagestan, a place near Russia, which has been a victim of terrorism and poverty. His father, Abdul Nurmagomedov, was himself a Sambo champion, martial artist, and freestyle wrestler. He had his gym and training facility, where he trained Khabib himself. Speaking of training, there's a video of Khabib wrestling a bear as a part of his training. Yes, a real live bear. Number 9. His wig actually means something. Khabib wears an intriguing headpiece while weighing in before and after his fights. The wig is called a papaha and is a wool hat worn by the men through the Caucasus, a region of Eastern Europe and Western Asia. He said his papaha represents where he's from, a small hometown in Dagestan. This is traditional headgear for Dagestan, for Chechnya, for the Caucasus region, and it's very important to me. Very important. Number 8. Khabib's notable wins and records. In late 2011, Nurmagomedov signed a 6-fight deal to compete in the UFC's lightweight division. In his UFC debut on 20 January 2012 at UFC on FX1, Nurmagomedov defeated Kamal Shalras via submission in the 3rd round. Nurmagomedov next defeated Gleison Tibau on 7 July 2012 at UFC 148 via unanimous decision. However, 5 out of 6 media outlets scored the fight for Tibau. Nurmagomedov's next fight was against Thiago Tavares on 19 January 2013 at UFC on FX7, winning via KO in the 1st round. After the fight, Tavares tested positive for drostanolone, an anabolic steroid, and received a 9-month suspension. Nurmagomedov then went on to defeat Abel Trujillo on 25 May 2013 at UFC 160 via unanimous decision. At the weigh-ins, Nurmagomedov came in over the permitted limit, weighing in at 158.5 pounds. He was given 2 hours to cut to the lightweight maximum of 156 pounds, but elected instead to surrender a percentage of his fight purse to Trujillo, and the bout was contested at the catchweight. In the course of the fight, Nurmagomedov set a new UFC record for the most takedowns in a single fight, with 21 successful takedowns out of 28 attempts. In his 5th UFC fight on September 21, 2013, at UFC 165, Nurmagomedov faced Pat Healy. He won the fight via unanimous decision. Attending his first post-event press conference, UFC President Dana White praised the relative newcomer, stating,
"He can wrestle, he can punch, he's got good punching power too. Even against a bigger, stronger guy, he was hurting him in that fight."
In addition to his wins, Khabib boasts impressive accomplishments, like the longest lightweight champion in UFC history, 931 days. Most takedowns in a single UFC fight, UFC 160, 21 takedowns on 28 attempts, 3 rounds, versus Abel Trujillo. Second most submission wins in title fight UFC history. First Russian-born UFC champion, and also first Muslim UFC champion. In 2016, he won the International Fighter of the Year, 2020 October Submission of the Month, and the European Pancratian Champion. Number 7. Unique fighting style. Nurmagomedov employs a wrestling-based style of relentless pressure against his opponents, often described as mauling, or as Khabib says, "I will smash." Using a variety of wrestling and judo sambo takedowns, he forces his opponents against the cage and ties up their legs and arms to prevent them from escaping. From this position, he exhausts his opponents by forcing his weight against them and attacks with measured strikes his opponents are often unable to defend. As of UFC 242, 18 of his 28 victories had come by way of either TKO, KO, or submission. Number 6. He had a bus attack at UFC 223 Media Day. On 3 April 2018, Nurmagomedov and fellow fighter Artem Lobov had an altercation in which Nurmagomedov and his entourage cornered Lobov and slapped him multiple times. Lobov is known to be close to Conor McGregor, with whom Nurmagomedov had verbal altercations and trash talk exchanges. 2 days later, on 5 April 2018, during promotional appearances for UFC 223, McGregor and his entourage were led into Barclays Center by credentialed members of the promotional team. They confronted Nurmagomedov, who was on a bus leaving the arena with red corner fighters for UFC 223 on it, including Rose Namajunas, Al Iaquinta, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, Ray Borg, and Michael Chiesa. McGregor ran up alongside the slowly moving bus and then ran past it to grab a metal equipment dolly, which he then threw at the bus's window, before trying to throw other objects in the vicinity. Chiesa and Borg were injured by the shattered glass and sent to the hospital, and were soon removed from the card on the advice of the NYSAC and the UFC's medical team. McGregor and others involved initially fled the Barclays Center after the incident. UFC President Dana White said that there was a warrant out for McGregor's arrest, and the NYPD said that McGregor was a person of interest. McGregor later turned himself in to the police station, where he faced 3 counts of assault and 1 count of criminal mischief. He was further charged with menacing and reckless endangerment at his arraignment and released on $50,000 bail until 14 June 2018. Under the bail conditions set by the judge, McGregor was allowed to travel without restriction, and he later pleaded no contest to a count of disorderly conduct. He was ordered to perform 5 days of community service and attend anger management classes. Number 5. Personal life. Khabib speaks several languages, including Avar, Russian, English, Turkish, and Arabic. As of 2019, he was a third-year student at Plekhanov Russia University of Economics, a supporter of football clubs Anzi Machkala, Galatasaray, Real Madrid, and Liverpool FC, as well as the Russian national football team. Khabib is a Sunni Muslim. In October 2020, The Guardian stated that Nurmagomedov is the second most famous Muslim athlete in the world, behind only the Egyptian footballer Mohamed Salah. In 2018, Khabib advocated a crackdown on nightclubs in his home region of Dagestan and leveled criticism at a rap concert held in Makhachkala, which led to rapper Igor Krieg canceling his performances in the region. In 2019, Nurmagomedov spoke out against a play held in Dagestan that featured the scene of a scantily clad woman seducing a man, describing the play as filth, recommending that there be a governmental investigation into its production, and called for those involved to issue a public apology, which allegedly led to the producer of the play receiving threats on social media. In 2016, Khabib co-founded his team Eagles MMA with support from Dagestani billionaire Khabib Nurmagomedov. After Magomedov was arrested on charges of embezzlement in 2018, Khabib used his post-fight speech at UFC 223
Ziauddin helped a lot of athletes in Russia
to appeal to Russian President Vladimir Putin for Magomedov's release from jail. Number 4. Early career and court battles. Nurmagomedov made his professional MMA debut in September 2008 and compiled 4 wins in under a month. On 11 October, he became the inaugural Atrium Cup tournament champion, having defeated his 3 opponents at the Moscow event. Over the next 3 years, he went undefeated, finishing 11 out of 12 opponents. These include a first-round armbar finish of future Bellator title challenger Shapovalov Shamalaev, which marked his M1 global debut. In 2011, he competed in 7 fights for the Pro FC promotion, all of which he won by TKO or submission. A 16-0 record in the regional circuits of Russia and Ukraine generated interest from the Ultimate Fighting Club, UFC, in signing Nurmagomedov. Later, Nurmagomedov's father revealed in an interview that due to the contract dispute with Pro FC, they had 11 court cases contesting the legitimacy of Nurmagomedov's UFC contract. After losing 6 and winning 5 cases, they reached an agreement, and Khabib was able to continue his career. Number 3. He's pretty famous on the gram. The age of social media provides plenty of insight into athletes' lives, but Khabib's Instagram feed is worth a follow. Just be prepared to Google Translate. He posts tons of training footage that should be enough to shame you into an expensive gym membership. But more surprisingly, Khabib has claimed a respectable 6.1 million followers, the most of any Russian athlete, ahead of Maria Sharapova. Number 2. Yes, he has a wife and 2 kids. When it comes to scary fighters of Khabib's caliber, it's sometimes hard to fathom someone so dominant in the octagon could even be interested in fathering a family. Khabib married Padma in June 2013 and they have 2 children, a daughter born 1 June 2015 and a son born 30 December 2017. His son was named Magomed after Khabib's great-grandfather. Interestingly enough, the birth of his son, Muhammad, came on the same night he defeated Barboza. Number 1. He nearly retired in the past. If it wasn't for Khabib's father, Sunday's main event fight against McGregor may have never come about. From April 2014 to April 2016, Khabib was away from the octagon, battling serious knee and rib injuries that had him contemplating retirement. According to Khabib, his father and his friends were waiting for a title fight, which prompted him to return, successfully might we add, to defeat Daryl Porcher via TKO 2 years ago. Of course, with that being said, Khabib's immediate future still remains uncertain with his recent retirement after his win over Justin Gaethje. Dana White has hinted that Khabib might want to come back to get his record to 30-0. However, since Khabib promised his mother that he would not fight without his father in his corner, his return is unlikely. Well, there you have it. Khabib is an interesting guy and fighter. He will go down in history as one of the best, that's for sure. I hope you enjoyed our video, and be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.